Hello, this is Joseph Andrew Jensen again, Reverend. Okay? Been a Reverend since June the 9th, 2019. Okay? When I was ordained, God led me to the website, the ULC Church, which is a Universal Life Church, non-denominational, and I was ordained within 10 minutes. Okay? That's about enough about me. You know, all these things combined, I'm really shook up. I made these videos and even talked with my friend for 50 years. He's a non-believer. I mean, he's a believer. He claims to be a Christian, a good Christian. But he doesn't believe that I know that God's talking to me, and he probably thinks the devil's talking to me. And if that's what you guys believed, it doesn't matter. Okay, what's going to happen after this judgment day? Like I said, we're talking about God here. If God leaves us because we don't have the thumbs up, which he says, God doesn't play around. When he says something, it's real. Now what happens? Only God, not the God's living in us. That's the problem. The God's living in us and us are out of control. We've enjoyed, I get what he calls sin. We've enjoyed being out of control, doing our own things. We love being our own things. We're not going to get any smarter without God. Okay? We can't get any smarter without God. God will outsmart us every time. So basically God's against us then. When God leaves this world, he's leaving us and all that he has told me that he will turn loose. The secrets of the world, the secrets of the universe, every question, the answer to every question. Sure, we'll learn a lot by boats. We'll get them to open the vaults of every country and turn loose all the information. You know, that's not getting smarter. That's just learning what's happened. You know what I'm saying? That's not thinking on your own. That's just finding out what the heck they've already know and been uncovered. For instance, there's a man named, I think his name is Stephen Miller, I think it is. Anyway, he invented a car that was run on hydrogen safely, that he ran. It was like placed it in a Corvette, and he drove all the way across the United States on 20 gallons of water. 20 gallons of water. There was no electrical charge at all inside the car. The hydrogen was created by like a sonic vibration. But can you imagine he went all the way from the west coast to the east coast on 20 gallons of water? But this is a thing that as soon as it came out, he was assassinated. And as soon as it came out, it disappeared. All his findings and papers disappeared by either the fuel economics or the government, because it was too important. He would have shut down the world. You know, that's a big one. Now, if the name I said wasn't accurate, they know who I'm talking about. Everybody should know what I'm talking about. To get to the point is crossed is God has. We will learn so much, but we can only learn but so much. God was prepared to give us everything. You see, if he's gone, we can't learn nothing. He was going to give us the secret universe. That's why I said everybody had to go back to kindergarten, because we'd learn so much more. But now we're not going to learn much more, because God will be gone. Do you really want that? Like I said, the God's inside us. I haven't been smart enough to figure it out yet. Now the God in me, he came with the idea of building heaven on earth. You would have thought that would have been a joyous time for the world. Oh yeah, we're going to build heaven on earth. It wasn't accepted. It was thrown out. I've been kicked off of church lots. New Springs Church in Anderson, South Carolina. Oh yes, go ahead and sue me. But when I went to New Springs Church, and they kicked me off the lot and put a trespass order on me because I called it a rapture, and it doesn't meet with their books. My book didn't meet with their book. Now that was a college. It once held an auditorium, which still does have an auditorium, that will hold 30,000 people. And it was at one time when it first started, it actually had 33,000 people in attendance. Today they don't have it 10,000 people in attendance. 3 times. I mean, the seats. Could you imagine a stadium that's 1/3 full? That's what it's like. Sure, go ahead, New Springs Church, sue the heck out of me, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen on September 22nd. When I told everybody to get GODScoin, and I'm working on that right now. I have a team of people too in Egypt. Selena with 8 years of university college. Aria with 6. Warwick with 4 and a degree, his BA degree in marketing. Schofield and Brennan, between us all, we got enough power to start GODScoin in Egypt, where it's going to be headquartered in Giza, looking at the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx. We'll have enough money too. We're going to have money just from this. Because on September the 22nd, God won't be here. We can't count on him. Because God's going to keep his word. He's not going to be here. But I don't know what to call the God in me, but I'm going to give him a name one day. Right now, it's just a God in me. When I write anything, I put a capital W and a capital E. We, meaning God and I together, or us, U.S., are capitalized, meaning us. We work together, God, hand in hand. We've been working together for the past 6 years, and we've been traveling since Christmas 2023. Now here, like I said, let's get back to the point. 2022. There's $7 trillion in this world. The whole worth of all the things combined is $700 trillion. The United States has 37 trillion of that debt. You know, China is up there too at 27, but altogether, all the assets of the world come to $700 trillion, which I will absorb. GODScoin's going to absorb it all at $100,000 a piece. Think of it this way. Let's put a big tank with $700 trillion in it, and then punch a hole in it. A hole big enough that $100,000 is going to be flowing out of it. Every split second. I'm talking about, I don't know how many gallons per minute is going to be flowing out, but it's going to be huge. So think of that big tank of $700 trillion will soon become $700 billion. GODScoin will start with $700 billion. $700 billion. Elon Musk owns $410 billion, but it's going to absorb him and everything he has. Why? Because every currency cannot cash their money. They can't, because it's been undermined. It's been undermined by GODScoin. We'll see who wins. I mean, at the market the next day, when it goes on the market, we'll see if any, because any bank that tries to cash any money and doesn't know what's going to happen the next day, those bankers better be ready to invest in GODScoin. Don't panic. I mean, just call up and say, hey, I want GODScoin right now. I got so much money in my bank. Don't even try to go to committees. Don't try to get together and figure something out. You don't have time. I mean, you'll try. You'll definitely try. But the banks will be lost. They won't be worth a cent by the end of the day. But then at the end of the day, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy that bank. I'm going to give I'm going to pay $1 million or more for every bank. I'll pay any price in GODScoin. It makes no difference. I give them 10 GODScoin for every bank. You know, that's $1 million. I think 10 times 100,000 is $1 million, right? Or I can give them 20. Depends on the bank. Or I could pay nothing, hardly nothing. I could buy the bank while it's going down to zero. While the numbers are going down in the stock market, I could buy everything in this world as it goes down to zero. I don't have to negotiate nothing. They have to negotiate with me. Please buy to get as much as they can for their assets. Do you understand? But I don't want your titles. I don't want your committees. I don't want your anything. You keep it. At least the person running it. For instance, the bank manager will turn into the bank owner and president. Put his name on it. But it'll be a GODScoin bank. Everybody will remain on the same job that they're on. I told you already. Everybody's going to get, as an associate that's 18 years old to 70 years old, it can be in God's services and work and get the salary. A salary now. You're not working by the hour. Although God's going to expect a 8-hour day. That's what the hours that a bank will be open or somebody will be open. Okay? During that thing, you've got 4 hours of work, 2 hours of travel, 1 hour doing martial arts, and 1 hour in kindergarten. You're still going to kindergarten. I don't know what we're going to learn without God. Or anything new. Maybe we're just going to learn something that's old. So it's hidden secrets. Don't you see, without God, if we don't come up with the thumbs up, it's the same as a thumbs down? Just like you're putting God inside a Roman Colosseum. Giving him a thumbs up. If you don't come up with enough, it's the same as the thumbs down. Well, go ahead, Christians. Say, we didn't know. We didn't hit. They're the ones that were told to be on alert. When they say God will come back like a thief in the night, that wasn't talking about Jesus Christ coming back in the clouds. That's not what anything was about. It was about God. God knew, only God knew the day and the time. Not even the angels or the Son of Man. Jesus. Not even they would know. God was coming back. Not Jesus climbed to the clouds. Y'all want to keep on believing in myths? Well, this is a myth. Take this as a myth. Guess what? See what's going to happen on September the 22nd, when you have no money, you have no way to pay it unless you turn to GODScoin. And then you're not going to get into God's services at all if you have doubt. If I can see through you, You'll be asked a few questions. We don't need non-believers. We don't need them. And we don't need hypocrites either. And we don't need self-righteousness. And we don't need problems. It'll be pick and choose. Or it should be. But no, it's not going to be that way. The God in me just said, no, it's not going to be that way. The God in me says everybody is going to be able to get GODScoin. But here's the kicker. Everybody could lose their GODScoin too, if you misbehave. Now, why is God? Well, this is the genius of the God that's living in me. Because he says, if we force God and every person and the God that's within them, first off, get the GODScoin, give it to them, they have to behave. They got to unite. United them on the jobs. Then you're not going to have anybody running astray, running on their own, doing their own thing. No, you're not going to be doing your own thing. When I started, I told you, when I was a crane operator, God told me, Joey didn't have hands, he didn't have feet, he did not have mouth. That's the day I gave God hands, feet, and mouth. And you're going to give God's feet, hands, and mouth too. Not that he's not already using them. You don't know it. But guess what? Now you're going to know it. You're going to know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to see the numbers go up every day. There'll be promotions and there'll be incentives. For instance, the person working on a dirty job, I said it's going to get 2 or 3 times what his salary. They'll get it at a team leader's thing, or a supervisor's level, or even a manager's level. Up to 4 GODScoin. Or if he owns his own trash business, he's gonna get 5 GODScoins per month. But anyway, the roads will get done. The roads will get done and be in perfect condition, because everybody in the world has to do something to get their GODScoin. They have to justify it. Nobody's going to be sitting in their chair. They have to work. Work at what you want to do, what you love to do. Work with your family. Bring your family with you, because every business that's created must have a daycare center, and it's free. Hopefully, like my GODScoin banks in Giza, where my headquarters is, will eventually employ like 30,000 people. 30,000 or more people. Egyptians. Not the Egyptians that know what they're doing. There are going to be some that know what they're doing. Warwick's going to be the president of my first GODScoin bank. The one with the marketing degree. Why is Warwick going to get it? Because he asked for it. He wished for it. His wish is coming true. I'll make sure that he's the president of the first, and he's going to own the bank. I don't want the banks. I don't want anything anybody has. I don't want their home. I don't want the papers or nothing. This will be a paperless world. All data is going to be shredded, gone. All prison records destroyed, expunged. Every bit of data, everything I was saying, except for medical data that's necessary. How do you say, all the anything that's not good for us is going to be gone. How are you going to unplug data? Simple. We're going back to the analog system. Back to Windows XP. We're not going to use analog digital at all for a while. We're going back to making films, real films, the way they used to be. Bring back the old cameras, but we'll make them modern. We're going to be making modern movies the old way. There's only going to be one debit card in this world right now. That's going to pay for everything. That debit card's with you, and the first ones, they won't have a computer chip in them, a GPS chip. But they will soon, and any company, it doesn't matter, because any company that cashes the thing better identify the person the right way, because that's how it works. By your birth name, by your birth date, and by your birthplace is carefully, then you're identifying, and you're going to leave your fingerprint to make any transaction. You'll be able to buy a car or cars, brand new cars, with that debit card. If you have $100,000 in there, just for being yourself. When everybody comes to get GODScoin, it's $100,000. When they get per person in a household. Then when you go to work with GODScoin, you're getting one GODScoin there. And then you're getting that GODScoin up front. And then every month consecutively while you're working, you're going to get a GODScoin. But now if you're a team leader, you're going to get 2 GODScoin up front, or two, or if you're a supervisor, you get 3, and 3 per month. And if you're a manager, you're going to get 4. But we are encouraged. The reason the wages are that high is because we're encouraging everybody to find where they really want to live for a while. Really want to live and build your businesses at your home. We're encouraging that. When I say we're, that's God and I and me. I'm a sole proprietor. I don't have a committee, and I don't have anybody coming between me and God. You understand? Don't come to me trying to work your way in. You better be satisfied with being a millionaire, and don't try to weasel your way into my affairs. Nobody better. I can't be persuaded. Now here's the other thing. I don't want to lose God. In America, there's 340 million people. 240 million 18-year-olds and older. If each one of you in America, the 18-year-olds, just give me 5 thumbs up. Just give me 5 thumbs up. Throughout sometime in August or before September 21st, that will be 9 billion thumbs up, and God stays. Because here's what God has to offer us: the knowledge of the universe. We think we're smart now, we can be that much smarter. I'll tell you what else is I was hesitant to tell you. The reason why people live to be 1,000 years old, close to 1,000 years old, in the Bible, Adam and Eve lived to 930 years. Going from Seth, Enos, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, his brother Idris too is not mentioned, Lamech, Noah. God made an ordinance years and years ago with them. They all were, they were in the Garden of Eden, and there's a river that runs through the Garden of Eden. The angels drink of it every day. The angels don't get older. They drink too much, they get younger and younger. They can go any age they want to be by just drinking the water. Yeah, so like the water of the Holy Grail. You pour it on yourself, you go back in time before the accident, before the event. You simply go back in time, and it didn't appear, cancer, whatever. drinking enough until it's gone. A person could become a 30-year-old again. A woman can't take this when she's pregnant because she could wash out her children, the unborn children. Well, after she's had all her babies and stuff, she could drink the water and she can return to having eggs. Do you understand that concept? The angels drink of this water every day. Now God told me I can give this water to the world carefully, but in the hospital event. So what's that put Big Pharma out of work? It puts Big Pharma out of work. You got a problem? Boom. A couple drops. It's gone. You see? These are the things that we could have. Besides, every government, nobody will hold any government secrets. There's no telling how much we already know that's being hidden. Okay, I'm going to go right now, and because I'm getting a phone call. But this hopefully might make it short.